We are in the locker room with Julio, Cesar, Chavez in this moment. I'm going to ask him the questions in Spanish, and then I'll translate them back. Julio, primero de todo, ¿cómo está todo para la pelea esta noche?
Tranquilos, relajados. Pues esperando que se llegue el momento de subir a la pelear.
Okay, I asked him about how everything's going. He said he's just calm and just basically just waiting for everything to come. ¿Qué tipo de Julio Chávez vamos a ver esta noche? ¿El Chávez que ha dominado 97 oponentes o no?
Bueno, vamos a ver. Este sábado es el termómetro para ver realmente en qué estado me encuentro. Entonces, ustedes me van a poder juzgar y van a poder opinar en qué estado me encuentro.
I asked Julio just now, which Julio are we going to see, the one that has dominated 97 opponents or not? And he said, basically, that's up for you guys to decide. All I know is I'm going to go out into the ring and just do what I can. Julio, la otra pregunta es, Gamache, ¿qué esperas de él esta noche?
Pues espero una pelea complicada, una pelea dura, pero pues vamos a forzar la pelea para tratar de acabar lo más pronto que se pueda.
I asked him about Joey Gamache's opponent for tonight. He says he expects a tough fight, a hard fight, and hopefully I'm going to get in there and do what I need to do to win this fight. ¿Qué dificultades tienes con Gamache?
Bueno, todavía no tengo ninguna porque todavía no me subo a pelear, pero yo creo que voy a tener dificultad ya que es un peleador que se mueve bastante y muy rápido.
I asked him about the difficulties about Gamache, and he said, well, right now I don't have any difficulties. I'm sitting right here, and we haven't even fought yet. But overall, he said that once we get inside the ring, he is going to present a bit of a challenge because he's so fast, and he likes to move back and forth a lot, which makes things kind of difficult. ¿Qué tienes que hacer esta noche para ganar a los aficionados del boxeo, pero más que nada para ganar a los aficionados de Julio César Chávez?
Bueno, yo creo que los aficionados ya los tengo. Lo que necesito es ganar esta noche para demostrar que todavía puedo seguir dando mucho más.
I asked Julio just now, what does he have to do to win back some of the fans that he may have lost in the past? And he said, basically, he goes, I have my fans still. What I need to do, though, is just to win convincingly and show everybody that I'm back and that I'm looking for another championship down the road, possibly. Let's now throw it back to Al.
Okay. Gamache, who will be challenging Chavez.
Thanks, Al. We're over here with Joey Gamache right now. And Joey, first off, what's going through your mind as you prepare to step into the ring against a legend in Julio Cesar Chavez?
Well, not a lot, really. I know what I got to do, practice it. Instinctively, I got to fight the kind of fight that I've been working on in the gym. Whatever it takes. If I got to be close, I'll be close. If I got to be at angles, I'll be at angles. I think it's going to take a little bit of everything.
What kind of Chavez are you expecting tonight?
Well, I'm going to expect the best Chavez. I mean, I don't want to underestimate him. The guy's a former, a legend and a great fighter. But, I'm expecting a Chavez that's going to come out, try to take me out early, and I'll be ready.
Are you catching him on the downfall?
Well, I feel that I am, but, you can never underestimate anybody. I feel that his better days are behind him.
What about the crowd? The crowd's going to be definitely into Chavez this evening. I mean, how do you get them out of it early?
Well, it might be exciting being the bad guy for once. They can't fight in there, and, I'm ready.
Does that concern you that you're going into the legend's backyard? Because let's say the fight does go to a decision, it might be more difficult for you to pick up the win?
Not really, because what counts to me is for me to fight the best fight I can, and I win to myself. As far as the backyard, I just wanted the opportunity, and this is what I get, and I'm ready.
You say you're going to fight the best fight you can. We talked to Julio moments ago. He said that the one thing he's concerned about is you moving back and forth, inside and out very quickly. It's going to take some time to figure that part out. Is that the advantage going in?
Well, I'm glad that he's considering that. I mean, that's the idea. And, I'm just ready, believe me. If I got to change my game, I'm a versatile fighter. I can adapt, and I'll see what Julio comes out with, and I know what I'm coming out with.
All right, Joey, thank you very much. Good luck tonight. Let's now go back to ringside with Al.
And they are now waiting for his arrival. This is, again, the locker room. Joey Gamache. And he is hoping his prayers are answered. One of these fighters could be walking out of their locker rooms for the last time as a professional fighter.
Oh, yeah, definitely a crossroads fight.
Fight of desperation you're dealing with, regardless of who has slipped or how much they have slipped. They bring so much experience in there. Gamache, 47 fights, and of course Chavez has had 100 on the nose. And it's desperation.
Yeah, and neither fighter wants to admit defeat. The realization of you growing older.
Better be you.
Joey Gamache will now hear it from the crowd. He is. It has been on the scoreboard. Crowd reacted just to this picture. He is making his way into the portal. Will Gamache hear this, Oscar, or is he just completely focused and be able to tune it out?
Well, one thing about Joey Gamache is that he will stay focused. He had told me that he has fought locally in his area, and he has been received very well. And now that he's here in Los Angeles fighting against a legend, he's going to hear from the crowd. But he says that he's going to stay focused and just focus on his opponent.
And first through the dark tunnel, and here comes the light, and Joey playing to the crowd.
At this point right now, Joey Gamache is just playing with the crowd and just going with the flow. Hopefully he will just focus more, because right now I see him too relaxed.
Yeah, I tell you, the cheers or the boos, when that walk from the dressing room to the ring, you're about 2 feet off. That is a great feeling. Every eyeball in this arena is on Joey Gamache, and this is his chance to strut his stuff before he gets in the ring.
It's a very interesting fight because both fighters have something to lose and both fighters have something to gain.
And Joey seems to be enjoying this as much as he enjoys the partisan crowd.
Yeah, this is the first time he's seen this. This is a new experience for him.
Because I don't know what it's like to walk in the ring and be the villain. He does now.
Maybe that's why he's wearing black tonight.
For Joey Gamache, this actually is his first significant fight in 2 years when he lost to Orzabek Nazarov for the WBA lightweight championship, a fight in which he was knocked down twice and stopped in the second. That really left Joey Gamache soul searching. He went to the Midwest to regain his confidence, won 9 in a row leading to this. The reaction builds as Julio Cesar Chavez getting ready to make his entrance. Tonight's Fighters Records brought to you by The Ring, the Bible of boxing, and the very impressive numbers for Gamache. 45 victories in his 47 fights, 29 by knockout. His 2 losses to Nazarov and also to Tony Lopez to lose his lightweight title.
He says, there is nothing I can't do in the ring. Joey Gamache says, I'm flashy, I got speed, power, offense, and defense.
Mario Diaz showing that he is Super Mario right before Chavez is to enter the ring. There's Mario with him.
En este momento mirando a Gamache allá adentro.
No pienso nada, lo único que quiero es subir a pelear.
He said I asked him what he thinks about Gamache and his entrance. He said, I'm not thinking about anything right now, I just want to get in there and fight him. El plan es para la pelea.
Salir a ganar con otro.
I asked him about his plan for the fight. He said, hey, I'm just going to come out there and win it. Ow.
And Chavez with his final thoughts, refusing to believe that this is the final walkout of his career, and very accommodating on the way to the ring. The crowd is revved. So is Chavez, the first time he steps into the ring after the beating at the hands of Oscar De La Hoya. Chavez didn't think he would be fighting again. He thought he would beat Oscar and then retire in that his 100th fight. It did not work this way. He says he wants to take 3 more fights and says he has then been offered a rematch against De La Hoya perhaps next April or May. First man in line is the former 2-time world champion Joey Gamache. He goes through the tunnel. He will be seen shortly.
at this point, I feel that Gamache is feeling a bit nervous. He's very anxious. I feel he just wants to hear that bell and get it on.
Joey Gamache was playing with the crowd, but that was before Chavez's entrance, and he heard the response. The crowd here just hoping to push Chavez further and further and to continue his career, and hoping, and they are praying that Chavez has not begun his decline, and that it was just a fluke and a bad cut from training, in which he went into the De La Hoya fight and losing in 4. We're ready now for the introductions. Joey Gamache really ready for the introductions. And Michael Buffer can't introduce until he gets the microphone back. And he's got it back. Now we're on the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time is the Anaheim Police Department color guard. And first up, I would like everyone to please rise for the national anthems. First, the national anthem of Mexico, to be performed by the very lovely Reina del Castillo. Please rise.
Now wait till you're introduced.
Mexicanos al grito de guerra, el acero apresta al bridón y retiembla en su centro la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Y retiembla en su centro la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Niño patria, tú tienes de oliva, de la paz del arcángel divino y del cielo tu eterno destino por el dedo de Dios escribió. Mas yo osaré un extraño enemigo profanar con sus pantas su suelo. Pienso patria querida que el cielo un soldado en cada hijo te dio, un soldado en cada hijo te dio. Mexicanos al grito de guerra, el acero apresta y el bridón, y retiembla en su centro la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Y retiembla en su centro la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Patria, patria, tus hijos te juran escalar en tus aras su aliento, y el clarín con su bélico acento los convoca a lidiar con valor. Para ti las guinaldas y olivas, un recuerdo para ellos de gloria, un laurel para ti de victoria, un sepulcro para ellos de honor, un sepulcro para ellos de honor. Mexicanos al grito de guerra, el acero apresta y el bridón, y retiembla en su centro la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Y retiembla en su centro la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón.
Well, an extra concert here for the fans here at the pond. Joey Gamache has been in the ring about 15 minutes already, waiting for Chavez to come out, waiting for the renditions of the national anthems. He had a sweat when he stepped in the ring.
Yeah, and look at how dry he is there. Even Chavez is dry. Both fighters right now should just really throw a lot of punches, really get loosened up and warmed up. I know you always like to start a fight with a good sweat going. Does that scare you when you see a fighter without a sweat?
it's a must for every fighter because that means if they're dry, that means that they have to take maybe 1 or 2 rounds to start warming up. And if you're warmed up maybe 15 minutes before the fight or even half an hour before the fight, you're already going with a big advantage.
Yeah, and you don't want to get cooled down before you get in that ring. Joey Gamache, this is the opportunity that he's waited several years for.
Do you think he's trying to convince himself now that he's able to tune this all out? Or has he tuned this all out?
Sure he is. He's trying to convince himself that he's tuned it all out. And I believe he has tuned a lot of it out. He's a fighter that really has great concentration in the ring. And that concentration is what he's going to need tonight. Once the bell rings, he knows the crowd is not going to hit you. Or we hope the crowd doesn't hit you.
Waiting for the introduction, so let's go up into the ring now. And here is Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, in association with your undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Present the featured bout of the evening, 10 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. This bout is sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission Chairman William Eastman, Vice Chairman NFL Hall of Famer Willie Buchanan, Commissioners Cal Soto, Andrew Kim, Elmer Costas, Ernie Weiner, Frank Azevedo, and former welterweight champion of the world Carlos Palomino. Executive Officer Richard DeCure, timekeeper at the bell and counting for the knockdown seconds Debbie Garcia. The 3 physicians in attendance at ringside are Dr. Robert Carnes, Dr. Adam Carnes, and Dr. Michael DeLuca. The 3 judges scoring this bout on a 10-point must system will be Hank Ellis Peru, Joan Ortega, and John Shorley. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, Hall of Fame referee Marty Denkin. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands in attendance here at ringside and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, in the blue corner, wearing black trimmed with silver and weighing 145 1/2 pounds. He has an excellent professional record of 45 victories with only 2 losses, and he has scored 29 knockouts. From Lewiston, Maine, here is the former 3-time champion of the world, Joey Sabotage Gamache. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing red with blue, white, and gold trim, and weighing in at 146 pounds. He brings to the ring one of the great professional records in boxing history. 97 victories, 82 by knockout, with only 2 defeats and 1 draw. Presenting the former junior lightweight world champion, the former lightweight world champion, the former super welterweight champion of the world, damas y caballeros, from Culiacan, Mexico, Julio Cesar Chavez.
Julio Cesar Chavez, and the things that are going on in his life. He's separated from his wife. He is surrendering his entire purse of $1.5 million to the Mexican government to cover back taxes. He's coming off the embarrassment of his proud career. He is filled with emotion, anger, and venom. And I'm just wondering if Joey Gamache's timing might have been a little off to fight Chavez, but Chavez fought De La Hoya at 139. He's at the heaviest he's ever fought, 146 tonight. Gamache said that I have to discourage Chavez early. Keep him off balance. And Gamache going right at Chavez from the opening bell.
Yeah, he also said that Chavez has been declining since Pernell Whitaker. He said Chavez is not the best today. For too many wars, he has degraded some in his boxing skills. But he knows that Chavez still has the experience and the skill. Chavez facing many problems, haunted by Oscar De La Hoya. He's frustrated, confused, a bit disoriented. And he is extremely depressed because of all these problems. And he looks a little bit pudgy tonight, carrying a few extra pounds.
And Oscar De La Hoya, I'm sure Gamache looking at that left eye that you kind of helped open, according to Chavez 4 months ago. What do you think the condition of that cut is 4 months later? And
well, actually, Julio Cesar Chavez claims that cut is no longer there, or that scar is no longer there. So we should see a Chavez at 100%.
Yeah, but was Joe Gamache goes for the cut?
I feel that Joey Gamache is going to go for the cut. He feels that that cut there that I put on there 4 months ago is still fresh.
What do you mean that you put on there?
That was his sparring partner.
Or was it his kid?
That was his sparring
or
partner.
His sparring son.
He said it opened up 3 weeks before the fight with you, Oscar. In the gym, it was reopened by his 3-year-old son.
You know, you were a big fan of Chavez. You studied him very closely, so you knew him in his peak. And when he fought you, what was the decline that you saw in Chavez in your fight?
You know, actually, I sparred with Chavez when I was 16 years old, and he was preparing himself for Maldrick Taylor. I had the opportunity and the honor to be in the same ring with him at that age, so I kind of had an idea of what his style is. At that age, at that weight that I was weighing featherweight, 126 pounds. I felt that I can outspeed this guy and outpower this guy, so I had a little advantage going into this fight June 7th, and I felt that I was the stronger man up in that ring.
So Chavez in the corner, working here. Oscar, you surprised, 146 pounds, the heaviest in his career. You think he's feeling a little of that?
Well, actually, I'm not surprised because Julio Cesar Chavez, of course, he does train hard, but he's not taking this fight very seriously. He's not working as hard, and he feels that he wants bigger and better fights. He wants to take a match because he thinks it's an easy fight, but he's very wrong tonight.
How could you say he's not taking this seriously? He feels if he can win his next 3 fights, he has a rematch with you. If he loses this, it's over, and he wants it. One of the reasons he wants to win is because he said the champion's got to go out with dignity.
A real true champion will always stay at his weight. He will not go more than 5, 4, 3 pounds at the most.
Round number 2. Julio Cesar Chavez, 97-2-1 with 82 knockouts. Joey Gamache, 45-2 with 29 KOs.
Yeah, and already in that first round, Gamache felt the power of Chavez. Chavez has all his power in that left hook. He has a nice style, but he throws the gancho, the hook punch. And he landed that well in that first round. There's another hook right there from Chavez.
Oscar, you said you felt that you could outspeed Chavez. Do you think it was the supremacy of your speed or a decline in Chavez? We're trying to get a feeling of where Chavez is here in his 101st fight. Does he have a shot at returning to the top form, or is he fooling himself?
I think Chavez still is strong. He's still strong. He's still fast, but speed is what just overwhelms him. Maldrick Taylor did it. Pernell Whitaker, myself, and I feel that speed. He just cannot take speed.
Absolutely, and the last thing that anybody loses, as you know, Oscar, is the power. And already landing with those powerful shots here in the second round is Chavez.
Right, Chavez, of course, like I said before, he's still strong and he's still fast and very intelligent up in that ring.
And it appears as though When Gamache moves to his left, he's circling away from that powerful left hook of Chavez. Takes that power away from him, but Chavez also has a good right hand, and he's able to steer opponents into that left hook using the right hand.
Chavez is very strong with both hands, the left hook, the right hand, the straight jab. He's a very experienced boxer. He has more than 100 fights, and I feel that Chavez still has it.
Yeah, but he says in tonight's fight, I'm only 60 to 70%. I'd be lying to myself if I said I was 100%. But he also says the past for me is dead forever. Double left hook, Gamache on the attack.
Taking it to Chavez. Chavez says he wanted to end this one as quickly as possible. He says there's no other choice but to knock Gamache out. He tried to silence the critics. Chavez standing in front of Gamache, but this is a tendency in his whole career. Often has no regard for his opponents, whether he has power or not. He'll take punches to get his in.
Oh, he has a good chin, but he's got to be worried now about the cuts that might open up or reopen.
Your rounds, you understand? A lot of upper body movement, use that head.
Well, some of that action from that second round. Watch the quick movements, these jerky style movements from Gamache on the attack. But Chavez uses his experience, takes his time, lands one punch. Doesn't waste much energy.
And just an example of the hand speed of Gamache.
Even though Gamache is not landing those punches, he's taking Chavez out of balance and making Chavez be wide open for other shots.
Oh yeah, and he's also keeping Chavez's eyes busy. Chavez, when he is being punched at, he's protecting himself and not punching you. The best defense is a great offense.
Gamache, fight plan to try to keep Chavez off balance. Don't do it by running around the ring, and Gamache has been right in front for the most part of his opponent.
But he says, I won't stand and slug, and I'll try to dictate the pace. I'll also try to keep turning him.
Right, move him around.
Right, what he means by that is when you punch hard, you have to set your feet on the canvas. You have to dig in. What Gamache wants to do is move every time that Chavez sets in, he wants to move.
And Gamache is one of those who feels that Chavez's skills have faded, going back to the Meldrick Taylor fight, in which Chavez was saved with 2 seconds to go and that fight was stopped. And he feels the kind of fights that Chavez has had, that the clock is ticking, that it catches everyone, and that Chavez is no exception. But also could be catching Gamache, who's 30 years old. But he comes out looking sharp here in the first couple of rounds.
Oh yeah, but it's still early in this fight, and Chavez is notoriously a slow starter. He knows there's plenty of time in this fight. Oh, downstairs to the body, and see those body shots, especially in long fights, body shots accumulate. Shake off the shots to the head. There's a low blow to good sportsman. Double left hook from Chavez. Downstairs to the body brings your opponent's guard down, and then you go over the top to the head.
The chanting for Chavez.
chin up in the air rather high, doesn't he, Oscar?
I think he does. After he throws his right hand or if left hook, he keeps his chin up high, which is very dangerous.
Keeps it exposed.
Coming down to the final 10 seconds in round number 3 of this scheduled 10-round fight.
This has been a salient characteristic of Julio Cesar Chavez. Downstairs to the body and then over to the top of the head. The punch right on the borderline from Julio. And to throw that punch, you got to dig around under the elbow.
Round number 4, 2 former world champions fighting now to continue on upstairs in boxing. Julio Cesar Chavez, the legend. Joey Gamache, the former 2-time champion.
We have a lateral movement from Gamache and that jab. He says the jab tonight is my most important weapon.
And this is the legend of Julio Cesar Chavez. He knocked out 27 of his first 28 opponents. Was 87-0 before the draw against Whitaker. Undefeated in 90 fights before the loss to Frankie Randall. And now Marty Salmon settling down Joey Gamache.
Kind of a strong slap from Marty Duncan, the referee. Wow. What a slap. Ouch. That would hurt.
Chavez, who held world titles in 3 weight classes for a combined 10 years. All-time record, 27 consecutive undefeated title fights, surpassing the mark of 26 by Joe Louis. Record total of championship fights, 34. The legend of Julio Cesar Chavez. And the crowd responds.
Really pouring it on is Chavez. Do you see anything differently in Chavez tonight, Oscar?
Well, actually, I can see Chavez's punches coming in a mile away. He's lunging too much, but he's doing damage to Gamache.
Again, the left hook. Chavez, one of the great
a headbutt.
He got it.
Oh, a headbutt.
And Marty Duncan again with a warning. Brings some life to Gamache. Chavez, of course, known for the punishment that he can deliver, the pinpoint precision. Knowing how to finish a fight, knowing the moment to turn it up.
Yeah, knowing when to turn it up and turn it on. That is part of timing. That only comes with experience. The experience of 100 fights, knowing when your opponent is ready to go. Now look at Chavez stalking, trying to cut off the ring, make Gamache expend his energy, make Gamache fight and solidly go downstairs to the body. Those will pay off late in this fight.
Best round for Chavez.
We winning this fight. I don't want you to stand up and fight this guy. watch the head, okay?
Well, Chavez went out and stunned Gamache. That big left hook. Gamache tried to hold on to tie up. Once again, big left hook right on the side of the jaw. Gamache was stunned. He held on. He tied up. And then later in the round, went in with the head. Chavez didn't like that. Marty Dinkin, the referee, saw it, acknowledged it.
And now Chavez has taken the control, what Joey Gamache did not want to give up.
No doubt about that. And you know, that's where a crowd can help you if you're somebody like Chavez and hurt you if you're an opponent like Gamache. That crowd, so deafening in this arena, makes you feel like you are really hurt. You can't concentrate because the crowd is screaming so loud. It breaks your concentration.
Not only that, there's no response to a punch that Gamache may go in. And of course, Chavez's punches are magnified, and you have 3 judges around the ring also that could be subliminally affected by that.
Subliminal messages.
No, Chavez right now is just, he looks excellent actually. He looks strong, he looks fast, he looks like he really wants to climb up the ladder once again and have the rematch with me.
Are you glad to see him take control in this fight?
I'm very glad. I just want him to have a great performance, do good in this fight, and I wish him the best of luck in every single fight. Well, of course, except for mine, but, you know, I just wish him the best.
Gamache takes it, moves in on Chavez, tries his left hook. Chavez now starting to add up some power shots.
Yeah, you really see the difference in strength of these 2 fighters. Chavez has his comfortable weight is this welterweight division. But Joey Gamache coming up to the welterweight division can't match that power inside the ring. Big right hand from Chavez.
But Gamache showing his heart, gets right back in there. Tough haul for Gamache because you have Chavez, who is known for the solid chin and head and taking punches. Gamache not really known as a power puncher.
He's not known as a power puncher, but if he uses his speed here in this fight for Chavez, he can do some damage in the long run.
I've never been hit with an easy punch. They all hurt. Just a matter of putting them out there, and now
the jab pushes Gamache away.
Chavez really taking control. Power shots.
Doubling
activity. He is on top of Gamache. He's on him like a cheap set of trunks.
Well, Gamache gets 3 quick ones in, but gets a big right back.
Oh, and another headbutt. Go over there. Go over there. Second one, and they're going to take a point.
Marty Dinkin, the referee, has given Gamache a couple of warnings.
And a couple of slaps.
10 seconds to go. Chavez continues to pile on the points.
Oh yeah, powerful left hand. Boom, look at that shot. Oh, I think actually the back of the head of Joey Gamache hit the canvas and then he bounced back up without leaving his feet. And then Gamache, too aggressive. Actually the shoulder, I think, hit the face of Chavez. But Marty Dinkin said that's enough of that. No headbutting, spearing.
Chavez saying, as a champion, I want to go out with dignity. Did not want to go out after the fight against Oscar De La Hoya and is obsessed about returning and getting a rematch. He says he plans 3 fights, starting with this one here against Joey Gamache. And then a rematch possibly in April or May of '97 against Oscar De La Hoya. And Oscar, I know you welcome that opportunity.
Oh, most definitely. I will give Mr. Julio Cesar Chavez an opportunity anytime.
How about right now?
We can do it now, no problem.
I think he's a little bit busy right now.
And if Chavez wins those 3 fights, which leads to the rematch, certainly energizes the fight with Oscar.
Sure, but what if he doesn't get a knockout tonight? Does that really hurt Julio Cesar Chavez?
Actually, well, if he just gets a good victory under his belt, he will be known as a man who just came back and wants to regain his crown.
Well, it looked back in that 4th and 5th round that he was on his way to a knockout, but something rejuvenated Joey Gamache.
Chavez wins these 3 and gets the rematch with Oscar. He will be standing strong by the story of the cut interfering in the fight with Oscar De La Hoya, and that was the reason for the way it ended, having nothing to do with a possible decline of Chavez.
Oh, big left hook, blood from the nose now.
Oh, Gamache walking into it.
Oh, again walking into it.
His corner does not want him to stand in front of Chavez for good reason. And Chavez has found the way to finally slow down Gamache.
Oh, yeah, you see how high Joey Gamache carries his chin. This is a time where he really needs to tuck that chin down. Both fighters pulling on the back of their opponents' heads.
It appears as if now, Sean, that Chavez has kind of cleared his mind of all that is going on to him outside of the ring.
Oh, yeah, this is a fighter in Chavez who knows how to focus his thoughts on one thing, and that's the business at hand. Right now, he's got Gamache right where he wants him. Gamache still game, though. Tough kid. He said, I know they brought me in this fight to lose. He says, Chavez says he wants a tough fight, and he's going to get it, but I think they are overlooking me, says Joey Gamache.
They're trying to put more pressure because Gamache cannot handle pressure, so they want Chavez to just keep on going forward.
He's known for his power in his left hand, but Chavez can crack with the right hand, too. He did just there. Once again, chin too high.
And now the biggest weapons for Joey Gamache going into this fight are essentially being taken away. His quickness and his speed have met with the power of Chavez.
Yeah, they had a busy corner over there, and they're trying to wipe up some of the debris that's left over. And that's in Joey Gamache's corner.
Sean, you gave Gamache, who said he wanted to get off to the quick start, you gave him points in those first couple of rounds. You called the first round a draw. Second round you gave to Gamache. And the last 4 to the steamrolling Julio Cesar Chavez.
Yeah, it's been a different story from those first 2 rounds. Gamache, of course, wanted a fast start, but you can't just stop after that fast start, can you, Oscar?
Right. I mean, Julio Cesar Chavez, of course, he's known to start off slow. He's known to pick it up in the later rounds. And right now, Chavez is just putting on the pressure. He's doing an excellent job against Joey Gamache.
You know, I keep seeing him look over here, down here, at you here at the broadcast table, What are you thinking when you see him fight?
Well, when I see him fight, I try to study him. I try to look at his feet, the way he's out of balance, the way he's throwing his punches with sometimes no power at all because he's out of balance. I feel that those right there are keys to being very successful against Chavez in the rematch.
How about Gamache? What does he have to do? Does he have a chance here?
Gamache still has a chance. He has to keep on using speed, keep on throwing that left jab, that fast left jab. Not only 2 jabs, but 3 at a time, 4 at a time. It keeps Chavez out of balance.
How far do you think Chavez is off his prime?
I feel Chavez is probably at maybe 85%. I feel Chavez still has the power. He will always have the knowledge and the experience up in the ring to be a great champion and to always be victorious. I feel that Chavez just maybe lost speed a bit, but he's probably at 85%.
And now he's also facing a guy who has tremendous heart in Joey Gamache. You remember the fight in which he lost his title to Tony Lopez? Gamache in that fight, severely swollen left eye from the second round on. He took 14 consecutive hard rights before finally going down, which was the first time he went down in his career. So he knows how to take a punch, and he's proving that again tonight.
Yeah, he said that loss to Tony Lopez made him a much better fighter. Now, more confident, more complete, knows that he can take punches and come back with his own. Oh, he takes some heavy left hooks, a lot of red.
Decided to trade. Might not be the best position for Gamache, but at this point, he saw a little bit of an opportunity there. Oh. And that shot, they trade rocking shots to the head. Chavez turning it on. Checks in the corner of Joey Gamache.
Tough kid.
Get the mouthpiece.
Blood from the nose, both his eyes, showing some discoloration, mouth open, and there's what he has to stare across the ring at.
The eyes of a tiger, the crowd.
And this crowd.
Yeah, response to that when they see that shot up on the scoreboard.
Jimmy Glenn.
Are you okay, Joe?
Here's a look at some of the head work from Joey Gamache. A blatant foul. Draws a warning from the referee.
Chavez used every second in that corner sitting on the stool.
Experience.
Gamache had talked about how he feels he has matured now, that when he was younger, he wasted a lot of movement, always on the move. And right now with Chavez, seems as if he has resorted to the movement, which he might have to do to stay away from some of these shots.
In fact, that's what they're begging for in his corner. Jimmy Glenn, Tony Lampron, Jimmy Williams asking for more movement from Gamache, but I think Gamache needs to use the movement, Oscar, with punches.
I feel what he has to do is just keep on moving side to side, give Chavez angles, and at the same time throw punches, throw the speed, and take Chavez out of balance. Because right now Chavez, of course, he's putting the pressure, he's winning this fight, and he's just overwhelming Gamache.
Oh, yeah, dictating the pace, no doubt. Something that Gamache did not want Chavez to do.
These two fighters are half-pound apart, but they look like they're in different weight classes.
Yeah, you see the strength in the back and the upper body of Julio Cesar Chavez, and the weight for Joey Gamache, and he knows it, is in his trunk and in his legs. Whoa! Another big left hook. You can't say Joey Gamache has no heart, because he certainly has taken the best shots from Julio Cesar Chavez. He was questioning his own ability to take a shot after the Nazarov fight.
In which Gamache went down 2 times. But for Chavez, looking to restore faith in his legend, as he selected the perfect opponent in Gamache.
Absolutely. No power, and a fighter who will stand in there and trade with you. This is something Joey Gamache said he was not going to do. He's not going to stand and slug.
Well, it's desperation now for Gamache. And it is Gamache who continues to throw the punches. Chavez perhaps can't believe he's still standing. They're trading. Gamache still willing to trade.
I think right now Gamache is just cannot take his punches. Chavez is too strong, and the referee feels that he has to stop the fight. But of course, Gamache has a big heart. He wants to stay in this fight, and the referee, you see, he wants to stop it, but Gamache keeps on throwing punches.
And the crowd whipped into a frenzy.
It's over. They stopped it.
And this time, it's the blood of the opponent on the body of Julio Cesar Chavez. And his fans feel the legend has returned. Marty Denkin with a finish, and what a climax to this fight. Chavez swinging away, and the amazing courage of Joey Gamache, hurt, beaten, bloodied, and staying right in the face of the great Julio Cesar Chavez. And the crowd here happy for the victory of Chavez, but perhaps may have wanted to see more action like that. No complaints from Gamache.
No.
He threw it all there at the end.
Game kid, but overwhelmed by the power of Julio Cesar Chavez. There is Joey Gamache.
And this is more reminders for Gamache of the Tony Lopez fight.
Sure.
And he now has to take a good look at where he will go in his career. Former 2-time world champion Julio Cesar Chavez, 1 down, 2 to go for him to get to his goal of Oscar De La Hoya for the rematch. And Chavez came into this fight saying he had a lot to prove, trying to prove that he is still in the elite level, trying to regain a championship, trying to erase the memory of the vision of a proud champion being the bloodied loser, and stopped in the 4th round, which led him to depression along with the outside interferences, being left by his wife, and also delinquent in Texas. He has given the whole purse of $1.5 million to the Mexican government to try to clear that problem away. So for Julio Cesar Chavez, maybe the clean slate financially in this fight, and the new slate. He said he wants a new beginning tonight, and the fans think he has it. 2 more fights ahead, and then his goal to Oscar De La Hoya, the rematch, and what he hopes then is the final fight of his career.
Well, Joey Gamache was game, but not enough power from him. He wanted to put some pressure on in this final round, but in doing that, he ran into many of the hard shots of Julio Cesar Chavez. Gamache stayed on the inside. This is something that Joey said he was not going to do, to stand and slug, but he had painted himself into a corner because I had only given him 1 round, that being the 2nd. Oh, and there he takes a big right hand from Chavez. Chavez really pouring it on now. Has Gamache flailing away. Joey coming in toward the end of the round. Marty Dinkin, the referee, staying close. But we see the shots of Gamache missing, the punches of Julio Cesar Chavez hitting right on the mark, just on the tip of the chin. Gamache cut in that 8th round, nose bleeding. Game, heart.
98 wins, 2 defeats and a draw in the 83rd knockout of the Hall of Fame career. Let's get the official time. Here's Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Marty Dinkin has to call a halt to the bout. The end comes officially at the end of round number 8. The winner by knockout victory, con Culiacán, Mexico, Julio Cesar Chavez.
Chavez comes and conquers and accomplishes what he is meant to do here tonight. And we have a treat for you. Standing next to Chavez, who will interview him now. Wait till you hear the reaction of the crowd as they see the two standing together when that goes up on the scoreboard. And hey, who knows? We might see the rematch sooner than we figured. Chavez standing for the first time in 4 months since he was a bloody mess with Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar?
I want to ask Chavez now, how did he feel for this fight? Chavez, te miraste excelente. ¿Cómo te sentiste para esta pelea?
Bueno, me sentí regular. No me sentí del todo bien, ya que por los problemas que había tenido últimamente, pues no hice una gran preparación, pero estaba en un 60% y con la experiencia que tengo, pues me la fui llevando, aunque me sorprendió con varios golpes.
I'm going to ask him what's next for Julio Cesar Chavez for the future. Chavez, ¿qué sigue para Julio Cesar Chavez?
Bueno, sigue la pelea del 8 de diciembre, posteriormente otra pelea y luego la revancha contigo.
He says that he's going to fight in a couple of months, and he's going to fight another fight, and then he wants to fight me for the rematch. It's going to be a good fight, and I'm looking forward to it. Chávez, otra vez una gran pelea, un gran campeón, y te deseo mucha suerte.
Gracias y síguete cuidando muy bien. Yo espero que salgas avante de tu próximo compromiso para luego pelear nuevamente tú y yo, ya que yo creo que mucha gente no quedó conforme, solamente tú. Pero aquí te quiero decir delante de todos que tú sabías perfectamente bien en qué estado iba yo, así es que nos volveremos a ver frente a frente, pero en un estado ya que no lleve ninguna ventaja. Te deseo suerte y muchas gracias.
I wished him well, I wished him good luck, and he says that he feels that he wasn't at 100% for my fight. He feels that Chavez will be at 100% for my fight, which I'm very looking forward to it, and you're going to see a very good fight sometime next year. Thank you. Back to you, Al. Back to Sean.
Joey, first of all, are you okay?
Oh, most definitely. It was a tough fight. Coming into this fight, what I wanted was respect. I should have been boxing and moving, but it was too much for me tonight. You know, I'm not going to be fighting much longer. I've had a real good career. The main thing with me was I just wanted to acknowledge that when my name gets brought up that I was known as a good fighter. Not everybody can be a great fighter. Julio Cesar Chavez is a legend, a great fighter. He's not like he used to be, but the idea is what I wanted was to be acknowledged as a good fighter. That's all.
Yeah, tough kid. You showed you have a lot of heart tonight, but did you fight the wrong fight plan?
Well, early on I fought the right game plan, boxing and moving, but I guess I had something.
Why did you change?
Well, I had something to prove. I wanted to go out there and show the people that, hey, Joey Gamache can fight with anybody, and that he's a tough guy, and that he's not a basic fighter. He's not a guy that he's just a front runner that, you know, can't do it all. And you know, maybe I fought the wrong game plan coming in after the second round, but hey, I'm a fighter.
You have followed Julio Cesar Chavez's career. Do you think he is back?
Well, I don't want to put Julio down, but you know, I don't think he's in the league of the Oscar De La Hoya's, Carson, the Zoo. He's definitely at the end of a legendary career, like anybody else. The clock catches you, and I wasn't in his league. I fought a hell of a fight. I fought the best that I could. But you know, Chavez, he's above a lot of guys. He's not like he used to be, but you know, what can you do? He still was too good for me tonight.
And because of that, Joey, are you at the end of your career?
Oh, most definitely. Tonight, you know, coming into this fight, I felt that this was coming to the end, win or lose. You know, the main thing is I want to race the fluke with Ozbek Nazarov, and I got knocked out in 2 rounds. People say that I couldn't take a shot. I didn't have the resiliency, but I knew that I did. And, you know, I'm a fighter, and I'll give every ounce that I got. With the Nazarov fight, I never got a chance to prove that. In this fight here, I did the best I could. Maybe I fought the wrong game plan, changing up the second round on, but what can you do?
Does it hurt you that these fans are not cheering Joey, 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 Joey right now?
Now I know how my opponents feel, you know, coming into my hometown. But, you know, the main thing is we're all fighters. We all do the best we can, and I came to fight tonight. I can't do any more than what I did.
All right, Joey Gamache, well, good luck to you. The end of a good career, 2 world championships. Joey Gamache goes down in 8 tonight. Back over